All right, folks, coming to you tape delayed from California to Connecticut. This is Cardinal Paradise. Let's roll.
We're 0-2, but we're not an 0-2 team.
Oh, jeez.
We don't play 0-2, but that's where we are right now.
That's right. So AC, we got a lot of question marks. Who's going to be the quarterback? Where's the D? I have no idea. Very disappointing game Saturday. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm thinking. I thought we'd win the game. You know, we made a bunch of mistakes. You know, we just couldn't get things going. We turned the ball over a lot. You know, our quarterback situation, of course, is up in the air. You know, I thought Lamar, I thought he did an okay job turning the ball over. You know, and of course,
3 times?
We can't do that.
No.
We can't do it. It's always been a L if we turn the ball over 3-4 times, and we can't do it. Kyle Bolin came in, and honestly, JP, he looked good. He looked like a guy that's standing up tall in that pocket and throwing the ball. And I think, you know, if he can go into this game tonight, I think he'll start. If he can go into this game today and not commit turnovers, handle the offense, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. You know?
Well, we're definitely backed into a corner here, being 0-2. Now, this is our first conference game, and conference games mean everything.
Yes.
Granted, those other 2 games were out of conference. I still don't like starting 0-2, but this is a really, really important game for Louisville.
Yes.
I know we're a little bit of an underdog, but we got them at home. We're backed in the corner. I like our chances. We'll see what happens. As you said, Lamar started the game. He threw a couple picks and had a turnover, and then Kyle came in and did a great job again, just like he did at the end of the last season against Kentucky. So I'm with you. I think Kyle Bolin will also start tonight. We'll see. Who knows? But we'll just kind of go. You know, the defense only had 1 interception, but I think the thing that disturbed me the most is we could not stop their offense. Now, they have a very dynamic offense. It's a lot like Texas A&M and Baylor. You know, and they're in Houston, they're in Texas as well. But they just seem to all run that kind of similar style of offense, and we just couldn't stop them. Every time we score, they would score. And I was really thinking, I think we alluded to it on our show before, that we thought that our defense would get a couple of stops against them, but they didn't. And then we thought we'd win the game because we would stop them and they wouldn't stop us. But as it turned out, we didn't.
Well, they put that ball out in the receiver's hands on the perimeter, and it just seemed like we could not get to them. Our pass rush was lacking. You know, we could not. And in all fairness, they got the ball out fairly quick.
Which is what Auburn did.
So, we gotta, there's gotta be a way to stop that type of offense, and we gotta find it. And again, Mr. Grantham, our defensive coordinator, he was my dice player of the game for most games last year. So I'm not gonna abandon him, because he's a good coordinator.
Yeah, Clemson is actually similar. I mean, they lost their offensive coordinator. He's finally gone to a head coaching job at SMU, I think. But they still run a similar type of offense. So I guess they better be ready. And we've seen it for 2 straight weeks. So we'll see if we're not ready this week for them.
Well, they better be ready because Deshaun Watson is no joke.
Yeah, he's good.
He can throw that ball. He's probably the closest thing I've seen to Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, he is good. We knocked him out of the game early last year, so we didn't get much to see him. AC and I went to the game, and we'll talk more about the Clemson game coming up. But who do you think? Dice player of the game this week? I thought Kyle Bolin, obviously, coming in relief, picked the team up when they needed to be picked up, and I think he marched them down, and we scored every time that he was the quarterback, and that was important. I don't think he had a turnover. I think he was 10 of 18. For 157 yards and a touchdown. So that was a good outing for him, especially coming in.
He looked great. He sat in the pocket. Look, he had a command of the offense. The players out there, they looked like they were comfortable with him in the game. And I give it to Bobby. He can have a quarterback ready. I mean, you got 3 quarterbacks, 4, 3.5 ready to play football every Saturday. That's awesome. That's an awesome job.
So, Kyle Bolin, who did you like? Who do you think your Dice Player of the Week is going to be this week?
Well, there's some bright spots, with Quick being out. Then we got some other receivers out. But the tight end, Mickey Crum, the kid caught the ball with his hands. He made good plays. He made some key catches for us. And that's what we need, a big body in there. we need a Jason Witten type of guy out there for these quarterbacks. And I think throwing to your tight end makes you feel safe. And it's somebody who can seemingly always get open. And we haven't had one of those guys in a long time. So
yeah, he's a nice player. Witten's a nice player for Dallas, and Crum is a big guy. He had over 100 yards receiving, and we hadn't really even talked about him much. Of course, this is only our second show, but we didn't even talk about him much this season going into it. But obviously, with Quick being out, these guys have to step up. So we'll see what happens tonight. General team update. I'm not really sure of any injuries. I don't know if you witnessed any Saturday. I haven't heard Coach Petrino say that there were any. So
we're still with Quick.
Yeah,
he's hopefully within the next few weeks or so. That a high ankle sprain is nothing to mess with. I've had one or two in my career, and they stick around the whole season. So Quick, hurry up and get back, son.
Yeah. So the wide receivers, you want to touch a little bit more on them, or we can.
The jury's still out on our wide receivers, but guess what? There was no glaring mistakes. There were no key. Well, any ball that's not caught or dropped is important, but we had none that were just miserable for us. Mm-hmm. So the receivers, they're still learning, they're still coming around, they're still doing some good things out there. I would like to see more crossing routes from Bobby. Mix that defense up, but it seems like again, all of our routes are downfield, so it takes a little time for the quarterbacks. They're longer throws. I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but we kind of need to get that ball out there a bit quicker.
But it did spread it around. There was 7, 8 guys, receivers that caught balls this week, so that's always a good thing. Okay, so we'll move on. Our crapped out team of the week, as much as I hate to say it, AC, I'm going to have to lay this one on Louisville. I really thought we should have won that game Saturday.
Yes.
I was very disappointed. I knew that Houston had a good offense, and I knew that they could present us some problems. But I thought after the way they came back against Auburn, I wasn't expecting a letdown like that against them. Even though Houston's not a bad team, I know they're like, well, it's Houston,
They've always put up numbers. Houston's always put up numbers, but we were thinking that, our levels had changed a little bit since we went to the ACC and they're still in the American, but that's not the case.
No, so I'm going to go with Louisville. Who do you think this week?
Well, I'm trying to choose between Arkansas and Auburn, but I'm going to go with Auburn.
Okay.
Auburn let Jacksonville State take them into overtime at home. Now that shouldn't happen.
No, I didn't make
especially with the Heisman candidate at quarterback.
Right, Johnson.
He's only thrown about 5 or 6 interceptions this year in 2 games. So, but Auburn, you crapped out.
All right, Auburn, Louisville, and we do have to mention Arkansas. Brett Bielema just came out and was talking about how weak the Big Ten schedule was, and then he turns around and loses to Toledo, which is a good MAC team, but
the mighty MAC.
Watch out what you say, buddy.
That's right. Right. I want to hit on something else also.
Right.
We put in, last week we ran a couple plays, running plays. When we put in a couple extra linemen, we made the offensive line unbalanced, and we just ran it down Houston's throat. We did the same thing last year when we played at Notre Dame. Bobby, there's a hint there. If you can put those extra 2 linemen in there and run the ball down anybody's throat, how about doing it a little bit more?
Yeah, Brandon only had 40 yards rushing, and he's awesome. And if he only runs the ball 6, 7, 8 times, he's fresh.
Yeah.
So, but the offensive line is still struggling. I think they'll come together later on this season. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because we really need them to execute and block better. But we'll see. I think they'll get better as we go by.
Yeah.
Let's jump on into our Cardinal Paradise Picks of the Week, one of my favorite segments. I got 3 games here, AC, and I just try to pick different games, different conferences, and no bias toward any particular conference, but more so matchups. Auburn and LSU. Auburn had that scare last week. They traveled down to LSU to play LSU. LSU's favored by 6.5 points. Here's the thing. I think Auburn is going to bounce back. I like Auburn in the points, so I'm going to take Auburn plus 6.5 against LSU. Now, I don't know if it's a night game, and if it's a night game, it might change. But I think Auburn will cover. What do you think?
Well, JP, I'm going to use a term that they use down in Louisiana. Auburn will get mud stomped down in Louisiana this weekend. They will get mud stomped.
All right, so AC likes LSU, and I'll take Auburn. Florida State and BC. BC's always a tough place to play at Chestnut Hill. Boston College is getting 7.5 points. I'm going to also take BC in the points. I think they might keep that game closer. Dalvin Cook had a huge game last week, but I'm still not sold on Florida State. This is their first road game, so I'm going to take BC in the points.
I'm not sold on Florida State either, but I am sold on Dalvin Cook. The kid can flat out run. Mm-hmm. I think Florida State wears BC down like we did last year. We just wore them down. Mm-hmm. They ran the ball a lot better than we did. They do a great job of running the ball. But I think Florida State wears them down, and Dalvin Cook takes over. So I'm going with Florida State.
Okay, and then we're going to stay in the ACC. Georgia Tech plays Notre Dame. Notre Dame, unfortunately, Malik Zaire broke his ankle last week. He's out the rest of the season. That really hurts Notre Dame. They actually were playing pretty good. They're good on both sides of the ball, the offensive line and the defensive line. Mm-hmm. I think they had a decent shot at busting, getting into the playoff this year, but I'm not sure. Notre Dame is a 2.5-point underdog, I believe. But I don't think they'll stop Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's going to win. I think Georgia Tech will cover. So I'll take Georgia Tech minus 2.5. What do you think?
What's that little child wagon Georgia Tech's bringing on the field when they play?
Nice.
Little chuck wagon, whatever wagon. Yeah. They're gonna. It might be painful what they do to Notre Dame at Notre Dame because they're trained football players over at Georgia Tech. So Notre Dame, you better get ready.
Yeah, I love the offense that they run. So we'll see what happens. But I think you're right. I'm not sure Notre Dame will stay close in that game. So now we're going to turn our attention to the big game this week. And I would like to remind all the Cardinal fans, AC and I traveled to Clemson last year, and they are super, super good fans. They're very friendly, very hospitable, and we really enjoyed our time. They're very helpful in getting you around the campus and where to park and this, that, and the other thing. But I hope that Louisville fans treat them like they did us up there, and they were very classy. And I hope we are the same way this tonight, actually. So anyway, Clemson's picked second behind Florida State. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm not really sold on Florida State yet, so I think that one can go either way. Louisville obviously is back in the corner being 0-2, so I'm not sure how we're going to come out, but we have to win this game tonight. And can we handle them up front? They do have a good defensive line. So hopefully we make a few changes on the offense. Maybe we get some screens in there. I don't know. I haven't seen many of those yet this year. And we're going to have to run the ball. So I think it's key to get the ball out quick, maybe do some passing. Going to have to block up front. And we cannot turn the ball over against Clemson, or it will be a long night tonight.
Last year we went down there. We turned the ball over a lot basically at our own goal line. I think our quarterback dropped one. They jumped in the end zone with it. So you're right. Turnovers are going to be a key. I think our kids will be energized by this all blackout crowd tonight. So, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. But I look for Bobby to have the guys ready and bounce back. Can we do it? Who knows? But I believe that we'll find a way to win tonight. I think some unlikely players will step up. I think Grantham will get the defense going. But with Deshaun Watson, he makes me nervous. I enjoy watching him though.
We're going to have a spy on him the whole time. So we're going to have a linebacker or somebody spying on him the whole time. Otherwise, he's going to get out of the pocket and run. A lot like Lamar Jackson did against Auburn. So we'll see. So I think it's going to be a close game. I know Auburn's favored by 6.5 points. I think Louisville's going to beat them 27-24. That's my guess.
Well, I'm going to go with Louisville wins 28-35. I think we get it rolling. I think our running game gets popping. So
okay. So obviously we both like Louisville tonight. Go Cards for sure. And I guess that wraps up this show, AC. We would like to thank our sponsors again. Robbie Wine for the fresh shirts from Shavely Sporting Goods. Thanks, bro. I appreciate those very much. Very nice. Also, JP Mortgage Company and
Alternative Behavioral Health better known as Abby.
Yep.
Thank you for what you do for us.
Yeah, thanks for all our sponsors. We greatly appreciate it. I'm JP.
And I'm AC.
This is Cardinal Paradise, and that's how we roll.